New on Curiosity Stream. How do you connect a 16th century potato to limitless energy production? Could Napoleon's toothpick have a direct link to a machine that predicts the future? And how can a 1700s conch shell chart a course to humans connecting their brains to the internet? James Burke's visionary series Connections returns for a new generation. Experience all new Connections. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Let's seek the truth and travel the long road to justice together. What you know, Alibis, happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a good day. So the Wagner trial ended abruptly today. There was the shoe print expert testifying, and then the bailiff handed a note to the judge. He kind of made a face, got on his phone, and then announced that testimony was over for the day. I don't think we know what happened, but apparently testimony is supposed to resume tomorrow. Our buddy Big E is going to be in there giving us the latest because this expert has chosen not to be filmed. So we will catch up with that tomorrow. Also tomorrow, I'm really hoping to have this Patreon launched. I'm working on the Discord server now. So I will put that out when that goes live. All right, song fact of the got to thank people. I want to give a big thank you to Brad, Tracy, and Christopher for the PayPal donations. Appreciate you guys so much. All right, song fact of the day. Beautiful song, Wildflowers by Tom Petty. He wrote this album following his divorce, and he really did love his ex-wife, but realizes it just wasn't meant to be. So the song he wrote basically tells her he never found another person that compares to her and that she needs to move on, go find a lover, but please stay close to him in her heart. How sweet is that? I love Tom Petty. All right. So y'all, I tweeted out at 7:30, 8 o'clock that I was going to do this and it would be ready at 9. But man, I went down a rabbit hole. Big rabbit hole in this case. Bizarre as all get out. So let's get into it. Debbie Collier, 59 years old from Athens, Georgia, was found dead September 11th. So let's get into the backstory. Her husband, Steven, said he last saw her on September 9th at 9 p.m. before he went to sleep. Apparently, they lived in separate bedrooms, and this is their home. And because he snored, and hey, I can get that. It's super frustrating when you're laying next to somebody who snores like a log. All right. So when he left his house for work, her car was actually still home in the driveway. So she was last seen by family on September the 10th, which was a Saturday. And according to her daughter, Amanda Bearden, she left the house in a rental car, a 2022 Chrysler Pacifica, because hers was in the repair shop. And she only took her driver's license and debit card, according to her daughter, which her husband and daughter both said was odd for her, and she had never done anything like this before. Her daughter told investigators that her mom did not suffer from any mental health issues and was not suicidal. She did tell authorities her mom had a really bad back and was unable to walk really long distances. Y'all, your girl needs a haircut. I'm getting one Friday. Oof. Okay. So she was seen entering a Family Dollar store that same day on the 10th, and that was at 2:55 in the afternoon. Now, the store was about 70 miles away from her house in Athens. This was in Clayton, Georgia. And as you can see, she's wearing a red University of Georgia football jersey. Apparently, she was a huge fan of the team, shorts and a red visor, and she had a black purse and car keys. So here's what's weird to me, and it kind of comes in later, maybe when they find her body, but she purchased a poncho, a torch lighter, a 2-pack of paper towels, a reusable red tote, and a blue tarp. She paid with her card, but did not take the receipt. Now, I watched that surveillance video 3-4 times, And she seems perfectly normal. She doesn't seem like she's scared. She doesn't seem like she's under the influence of anything, just a very normal transaction. And so 11 Alive interviewed the cashier who checked her out that day, and she said, "It still gives me chills because nothing looks suspicious. Nothing looked out of the ordinary. I just don't think she was alone. It's not like she could have done it to herself." But investigators say that all the surveillance of the Family Dollar and surrounding businesses seem to indicate she was alone in that van when she went to and left that Family Dollar. So 8 minutes later, at 3:17 p.m., her daughter told officers that out of the blue, she gets a Venmo transfer from her mom, which is on her stepdad's account. And that payment was for $2,385. And the message with the money transfer said, "They are not going to let me go. Love you. There's a key to the house in the blue flower pot by the door." So her daughter said she tried calling her mom and couldn't get her. And she was scared and worried after she got the message. And this was the last communication Debbie had with anybody. So here's my thing: this isn't some random kidnapping. It's not like if somebody is doing something evil to you, you say, "Wait, I got to Venmo my daughter before you kill me." Oh, okay, go right ahead. Um, that right there is like red flag city for me. Whoever did this to her, I think knows her. And I think maybe, I don't speculate on here very much at all, and I'm not gonna on this, but let me just tell you, by the end, you might be able to figure out what I'm thinking. So it really stinks right there. What about cell phone pings? I want to know, did she stop anywhere between that Family Dollar and when she got there? Has she made any phone calls or texts? And she had to have a cell phone to send the Venmo if she even sent it. We don't even know that she sent it. How many cases do we have where somebody gets a message or something and the person's already deceased? Who knows? So her husband and daughter file a missing persons report at 6:01 p.m. that same day, which, by the way, 3 hours after this mysterious Venmo transfer and the strange message that her daughter said had her super worried. So investigators tried to ping Debbie's cell phone throughout the night. Cops also utilized the rental car's Sirius XM satellite radio technology to ping her car. And the next day, on the 11th at 12:28 p.m., Sergeant Ethan Neal was informed by 911 dispatch they had received a call from somebody who had been tasked with finding this car at Sirius XM and said it seemed to be in the area of Georgia 15 northbound. So her car was found abandoned in a pull-off by Officer Dakota Foster. And the pull-off leads to an old logging road near some woods. So Officer Foster told Sergeant Neal he had seen the car actually at 5 p.m. the day before on the 10th, which would have been just a couple of hours after she left that Family Dollar, but didn't really think much about it because cars routinely pull into this area. You can see here, I'll put the link in the description. You can see her car is being towed away from there. So, Deputy Blake Forrester arrived on scene at 2:20 and sent a canine trained to detect human remains into the woods. And Sergeant Neal and Officer Foster followed about 25 feet behind to scan the woods for any evidence and let the dog do dog cadaver things. So Officer Foster found that red disposable tote that she had bought at the Family Dollar, and it was leaned up against an uprooted tree or near an uprooted tree. And he also saw at the base of where that tree had uprooted the remains of a fire. So as he approached the fire, he looked down the embankment about 10 or 15 feet and saw a blue tarp, which was partially burned. And then he saw, quote, a tan object. As he approached, he discovered it was Debbie's body. It was nude, laying on her back, and her hand was grasping a small tree. So either for me, she's trying to escape, or this is staged. I don't know which one, but it's almost like she's trying to drag herself to get along. Clearly, she's kind of injured or dying at this point. Just a note, it was 15 minutes away from that Family Dollar where her body was found. And it was about a quarter mile off the road as well where she was found. Now, here's the thing, her abdomen was charred. So it seems to me like somebody maybe is trying to get rid of some trace DNA or some kind of DNA evidence on this shirt. And which may explain that small fire they found before they saw her down that embankment. Maybe it's a situation where they tried to burn the shirt while it was on her, but it's not a pretty thought. But human flesh and human bodies, it's very, very hard to burn bodies. Even with cremation, it is a constant, steady heat source over extended periods of time. So it seems like whatever they were trying to get rid of, they abandoned that. And also, they were, if they were burning her clothes, while on her body, that would explain that charring. So that they notified the family of the discovery and they arrive on scene, her daughter and her husband. And the investigation was still ongoing. And as they removed her body from the scene, the family was there. Her daughter was said to be hysterical at the scene, screaming that was her mother's car. So the crime scene was established at 3:06 p.m. and investigators say they believe her death is a homicide, but have not elaborated further or named any kind of a suspect or a person of interest. So they actually have narrowed down a time frame of death for her from 3:09 p.m. Saturday to 12:44 p.m. on that Sunday, which was September the 11th. And in a statement last week, investigators said at this time, there's no evidence to suggest or support that this incident was related to a kidnapping or that this was suicide. And I think that that's a pretty bold statement, kind of reading between the lines of we don't think that she was kidnapped. To me, this just screams that this is somebody she knew. Somebody had beef with her. Real quick, we're going to take a moment to talk about our paid sponsor of the week, Everlywell. I love the stuff. Y'all have already ordered me another test. So take action today for a healthier tomorrow with Everlywell. Their at-home lab test and vitamins and supplements can help you get the knowledge and support you need to become a healthier you. It's digital healthcare designed for you, all at an affordable and transparent price. Believe me, guys, if you go to a lab and have these kind of tests done, you're going to pay out the yin yang. And I got you a discount coming up. So with over 30 at-home lab tests, you'll be able to choose the test that makes the most sense for you to get the answers you need. I took the women's health test. Your girl needed some hormones. And they also have food sensitivity tests, all kinds of things. It also has high-quality vitamins and supplements to support your overall health. Here's how it works. Everlywell ships products straight to you with everything you need in one package. I have a video. I'll link it in the description showing how I took the test. And to take your at-home lab test, you collect your sample, use the included prepaid shipping label to mail your test back to a certified lab, and a physician will review your results, and then they come to your phone or device in days. Mine took 2 days. You can share the results with your primary care physician to help guide your next steps. And it's simple. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell to support their health and wellness goals. And you should too. And for listeners of my show, we're going to give you a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/whattheworld. That's everlywell.com/whattheworld for 20% off your next at-home lab test. everlywell.com/whattheworld. All right, so back to it, y'all. So if you're a little squeamish, don't look at this. But in December 2020, Debbie shared on a Facebook post a picture of a very banged up face of hers. And she said she face planted on a sidewalk. The Facebook account is one of those husband and wife joint accounts. It was like Debbie, Steve Collier. So it wasn't just hers. There's some other things that come in later. So you can decide for yourself if you think this was a face plant or something more. So last week on the 21st, several search warrants were executed at locations that were directly tied to Debbie, and investigators have interviewed those closest to her. Her daughter's home was searched on September the 14th. This is her daughter, Amanda, and Amanda's boyfriend, Andrew. So let's get a little bit of a backstory on her daughter, Amanda. So she has a rap sheet, and this has been reported in mainstream media, so I'm comfortable posting it here or saying it here. It goes back more than 10 years, and in the past, she's been accused of making false statements to the police as a victim and aggressor in domestic violence calls with different men going back to 2008. In 2021, she was charged with filing a false robbery report. In May of this year, she was charged with filing a false police report that involved her current boyfriend, Andrew, who's seen there on the right. I'll put all the pictures in the description, by the way, and you can see them if you're just listening on the podcast. So, past charges from May 2012 for her include battery, family violence, simple battery, family violence, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass. July 2013, she was charged with probation violation. Now, her boyfriend, he's got his own little problems too. And he was charged in 2020 for battery, family violence, simple battery, disorderly conduct. In 2021, he was charged with violating a family violence order and also pled guilty to DUI with drugs. In June of this year, he was arrested on a domestic violence call. And, man, just firing gasoline, these two, it seems, right? So, on September 13th, he was arrested for a probation violation and was put in jail for 6 days starting the 16th of this month. And he was required to show proof of substance abuse treatment within 20 days. He was seen back at the home this past Friday. So they have orders that they're not supposed to be around each other, but here they are. You know how those relationships work. Back and forth until somebody finally breaks the cycle. But it seems like they both have their own domestic issues with each other. So there's some body cam footage of September 4th, 2021, and it shows Andrew saying that Amanda had stolen money from his account for drugs and had been stealing his paychecks directly. In being there, he had violated an order of protection and was taken into custody, at which time he cried as he was being arrested. So last year, though, this is where it gets a little interesting. He allegedly threatened violence to Amanda's whole family. In a letter the New York Post got a hold of, it said, if you or your family, and I'm going to put this on the screen, it does have a little word on there. If you or your family ever come near me again, I will hurt them. Have a nice life. You're lying, A, B. Don't ever call me again. It was written in green marker, as you can see. And this actually was used as part of evidence against him in the 2021 domestic violence dispute. And in a police report, Amanda's stepdad said the violence between Amanda and Andrew was pretty constant over the entire time they had dated, spanning a couple of years. So they also are, investigators says they're beginning to receive information they've requested from subpoenas. And I just want to put this picture up here as well of Andrew and Nicole. You can see the toll, obviously, if she's struggling from addiction in that mugshot there. The picture of him kind of popped out on the top right is from that body cam footage when he was arrested that we just talked about. And then, so yeah, it just seems like, not a good setup for those two. But so investigators say they're beginning to receive information they've requested from subpoenas. And Andrew spoke to a reporter from the New York Post and said police have taken his and Amanda's phones and said they've all been interrogated and they're all looked at as suspects right now. So apparently, as we've said, they have an order to stay away from each other. But 2 days before Debbie disappeared, apparently the two of them moved back to Georgia from Maryland. Isn't that a coincidence? No. So a neighbor told the New York Post that there was always commotion over at the house where Debbie lived. And the night before she disappeared, she heard some commotion and frequently heard shouting from the home. She told the New York Post that somebody comes up to visit on the weekends and in the evenings, and there's loud screaming and fighting, and the visitor is a young woman. So not sure who that would be. So the sheriff's office said in a statement, upon receiving results and reports from all submissions and subpoenaed records, the sheriff's office investigators look to identify persons of interest for further follow-up and interviews. Her daughter told CBS 46 that her mom was her everything. Somebody took my whole world from me. She was a beautiful, kind, giving woman, and she didn't deserve any of this. I want justice for my mom. A friend of Debbie's told a reporter who knocked on her door from the New York Post, there's a reason we are keeping quiet. Another neighbor told the New York Post that Debbie and her husband were reclusive and didn't really interact with any of the other neighbors, saying when we would get together out here on the block for a cookout, they never participated. Many locals didn't even know their names, and they did not come to any of those get-togethers. As far as they can tell, they have lived there for quite a while. One guy said he's been on the block for decades, and they've been there a long time. So, they seem to rule out suicide and kidnapping. So kind of makes you wonder, it's like what's going on here, y'all? So Fox News spoke to Amanda and Andrew, and there's video of that. I'll put it out. It says, we sleep with stuff in front of our door and our back door because we didn't have anything to do with this. And we're a little scared ourselves. We had nothing to do with this. So we're just trying to protect ourselves at this point, he added. So that's kind of everything I can find on the case right now. I did find the incident report where they found her body, that the police made. And so a lot of this came from that. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. I have theories. I guess you could probably think my theories, but I'm not going to say my theory because, I don't feel like getting sued in the event that it's not that. But anyway, so tomorrow we'll get back into George Wagner. Definitely going to try to get a mega series for Lori and Chad in this week. Patreon should launch tomorrow. Discord should launch tomorrow. A lot going on, designing new merchandise, that kind of thing. And I just want to thank you guys for being so generous and kind to me. It means the world. And you guys are the best listeners out there. You just don't know how much I appreciate you. So I hope you have a good evening, and we will see you tomorrow.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.